Hi there, my name is Kelley Edwards and welcome to your yoga practice today. This class is going to be a gentle yoga class and we're just going to really try to feel into everything today. Try to move all the major joints, try to stretch and strengthen a little bit all of the major muscles, and hopefully you'll leave this class feeling refreshed but still calm and balanced. So not too much of an energy spike or anything with this one. Okay. For our practice today, you can have 2 blocks, a strap, and a blanket. And we're going to begin in an easy seated pose. So if you want any of those props to help support your beginning position here, you can have a blanket or block underneath you. Okay, so coming to your position, hands can rest somewhere on your lap. The palms can be faced up if you feel like you need a little bit more energy. Palms can be down if you feel like you've got all that you need already. Okay, so it's like you're receiving from the universe or you don't need to take from the universe. Press lightly into your sit bones so that the crown of your head lifts a little bit taller, but stay soft around your structure. Eyes closed softly. Relax through your eyebrows, temples, and jaw. And enjoy some nice, full breath moving in and out of your body. Notice where you feel your breath moving within. And we may really feel the breath in the chest or in the belly. So see if on your next inhale you can pull the breath down into your arms and reach to the tips of your fingers. And then see if you can, on an inhale, bring the breath down into the pelvic floor and hips. And then another inhale pulls the breath down the legs to the tips of your toes. And so gradually we're allowing more and more of the body to feel the breath. Try to get to a point where it feels like your whole body is breathing instead of just in the torso. Notice what thoughts have been moving through your head, and not only what you've been thinking of, but what the tone or attitude of those thoughts are as well. So are you more neutral? Do you tend to go towards the negative, or do you lean towards the positive? Don't get down on yourself. Don't get frustrated for however you're feeling or with whatever you're thinking. Just become aware. And awareness is always the first step towards change. If there feels like a lot that you're dealing with in this moment, The next few breaths, as you breathe out, say ha, H-A, and creating that vibration gives a sense of extra clearing and cleansing within the body. So a deep breath in, and again, it feels like the whole body is breathing. And then exhale, ha. A deep breath in, and ha. It feels so good. Do that as many more times as you need. And feel free to do that at any time during our practice as well. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Create your intention for practice. You can keep your eyes closed. Just switch which ankle is in front for your seated position here. You can rock a little left to right if it feels a bit unusual. That's okay. Keep some space between your chin and your chest and start to turn your head to look left and right. If having the eyes closed and turning the head makes you dizzy, then you can just softly open your eyes and keep turning to look. Just notice how after a few rotations, you can maybe start to look back a little bit more over the shoulder. But try to lead with the nose and not the eyes, because the eyes can look back farther than the nose will point, but that will then start to strain the neck. So make sure your eyes look where the nose is pointing. Let's look once more to each side. Good. Coming back to center. Interlace your hands. Place the hands behind the back of the head and open the elbows wide so you start to feel a stretch across the chest. And then if you can, think of pressing the elbows back behind you even. As you inhale, lift your chin, your heart. And as you exhale, use the hands to help tuck your chin into your chest. Let the elbows close in around the temples. And then imagine you're like a roly-poly here. So you're curling into yourself. You can point the elbows towards the navel and think of trying to point them back behind you. And that's really gonna roll your chin into your chest and deepen the stretch at the back of the neck. Make sure that your breath is still deep here, just like in our opening meditation. Try to relax your jaw here. Take 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, unrolling the upper back, opening the elbows, lifting the chin and the heart. And then exhale, return to neutral spine and release the hands and arms. Can do a few rolls of the shoulders here. Switch directions. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and extend our right leg out, off to the side so we're in a half straddle. Right leg isn't coming forward. Open it out. And bring your left foot to the right inner thigh. If this left knee is lifted, you may use your block or blanket and support. We want this outer left hip to feel like it can relax here. And if it's lifted without support, these muscles are then active and we're not releasing. We're causing more tension. Okay. Right knee, right toes pointing up to the sky. Gently flex the right foot. Sit up nice and tall. Twist your upper body to look over that right leg. Hands on either side of the right leg. As you take your next exhale, start to fold the heart down, walking the hands towards the foot, and you can soften this right knee, so bending the knee just a bit to bring the leg up to you. This will help us to stretch deeper into the hamstring. So if our right leg is locked out, pushing all the way down, all we're doing is straining the hamstring, but we think it's a stretch because it feels similar. So soft knee, heart folding, not required to get the foot. And once your chest is at a comfortable drop, you can tuck your chin into your chest. Check in with your breath, make sure that it's nice and full. And that is how you know you're at a good stopping point in your physical posture. Let's take 3 more breaths here. If you would like these last 2 breaths, that left hand can cross over the right leg, and you'll feel a bit more of a stretch through this left side body, the lats here on the side. Reframe that right leg with both hands. As you inhale, start to walk the hands back, sitting up. Keep reaching your crown tall so that the lower back doesn't panic. And then as you exhale, take an easy twist over that left knee. Come back around to center. And let's switch sides. Left leg out. Right foot in. Support this right knee if it's needed. Make sure left knee and toes are pointing up. Sitting up nice and tall, twist your upper body over that left leg. Take an inhalation. And as you exhale, hands walk out, dropping the upper body, bend that left knee. Keep it soft. And it should feel like that thigh is coming up to create a shelf for your lower abdomen to rest on. Once the chest is dropped enough, you can tuck your chin, letting the back of the neck feel long. And if you would like, that right hand can cross over the left leg, staying longer in that side body stretch here if you choose. Take 2 more breaths here. Reframe that left leg. As you inhale, hands walk back, sitting you up tall. Keep reaching through the crown. And then exhale, twist over that right leg. And if that left outer hip is kind of rolling forward with the twist, let that happen. That just means that your lower back might be a little bit more tender or tense today. So let this be easier on your back. Go ahead and release. Let's extend both legs out in front. Pedaling out the knees. You can flop the feet in and out. Again, knees are soft. Sit up tall on the sit bones. Lift up through the crown. Inhale. And as you exhale, hands walk out towards the feet. Take a extended forward fold here. Again, knees are bent enough, I'll show you from the side, to get my tummy, okay? This keeps my back flatter versus me rounding here, okay? So shoulders away from ears, get tummy and thighs to meet. Imagine the space is now glued together, and to go deeper, you can start to push the heels more forward, but the tummy and thighs stay connected. Take 5 more breaths here. Chin can drop into your chest once the back body feels set up properly. Then as you inhale, hands walk back, sitting up nice and tall. Soften the knees, pedal them out, and feet can go in and out as well. All right, let's come around to tabletop pose, hands and knees. If you would like, your blanket can come underneath your knees here to create a softer surface. Start with your shoulders over your wrists, knees under your hips. And start by turning your right fingers to point out off the edge of your mat. Left fingers are still pointing forward. Now you can stay here with the fingers turned out, or keep rotating the fingers, turning the hand, maybe getting the right fingers to point back towards the right knee. So we're feeling a nice deep forearm and wrist stretch here. You can be turning the hand out and back to whatever degree works for you, okay? So they don't have to point all the way back. Feel free to stay still here, or with the breath, inhale a little bit forward. And then exhale, you can drop hips back towards your heels, maybe not all the way, deepening that stretch. Keep the heel of the hand down. Inhale, lean a little forward. Exhale, pull back. A few more times here with your breath. Now the last 2 breaths here. As the hips go back towards the heels, you can start to lift the heel of the hand and you'll stretch more into the fingers. And then lean forward as you inhale, pressing palm down. Exhale, lean back, maybe lift the heel of the hand, stretch the fingers. Stay for a breath here. Come forward, planting the palm. Start turning the right hand fingers back out to the long edge of the mat and stay there for a breath. And then turn the right fingers to point forward. You can stand up on the knees or sit back and rest on the heels, shaking out the hands, rolling out the wrists. And just notice with your hands on your lap somewhere what the right side and the left side, how they compare, how they feel. All right, so let's free up that left wrist. Come back to your tabletop. Keep your right fingers pointing forward this time, and now press a little bit into fingertips on that right side so that they start to turn a bit white. This is going to help to take some of the work out of your wrist. Okay. So the left fingers can turn off the edge of the mat. Feel free to stay here. Or keep turning. Maybe eventually the left fingers will point back towards that left knee. Again, whatever degree of turn, rotation works for you, stay there. Now, as you inhale, if you want to move with this, you can, leaning a little bit forward. And then exhale, hips drop back. Keep the heel down. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, go back, palm stays flat. Just move a bit here with your breath. For the final 2 breath here, as the hips drop back, now lifting that left palm up so that we stretch more into fingers. Inhale, pressing palm flat, leaning forward. Exhale, leaning back, lifting the palm. Stay now, stretch the fingers, 1 breath. Slowly come back, forward. Take your time, starting to turn the left fingers out just a little bit at a time to release. Eventually getting with fingers pointing off the mat, stay there. And then turn to point fingers forward. Stand on the knees, sit back onto the heels, and again, shake. Roll the wrists. And this time you can interlace the hands together and roll the wrists out together too. All right. Coming back to tabletop pose, hands and knees. As you inhale, drop the heart, lift the chin and the tail, find your cow pose. Grip into fingertips. Exhale, press the earth away. Let your head hang for your cat pose. Inhaling cow, soft heart, lifting chin. Exhale, round the back, let the head hang. Keep moving here with your breath. And if your cat pose feels really good in the body, you can stay there for a couple of breaths. You do not have to keep moving with each inhale or exhale. And it might feel good to stay in your cat with your head hanging. Maybe shake your head yes and no. And then when you're ready again, you can continue moving. Let's take 4 more breaths. Last breath. Return to a neutral spine. Widen the knees. Bring the big toes together. Sit back onto the heels, walking the hands out in front of you for a child's pose. You may flip the palms up, wiggling the fingers, and help your wrists to relax. One more breath here. And then come back up to tabletop pose, hands and knees. Again, a blanket can be underneath your knees here for extra cushion. And we're going to start transitioning from this tabletop pose into low lunges. So this will be in our transitions here, our strengthening part of our class. So if your hands are staying on the ground, we're going to be pulling the right knee up to the tricep or armpit space and stepping that right foot to the outside of the right hand or outside edge of the mat. Okay. Now, with my hands on the ground, I have to really use a lot of core, so I feel like pulling in and up, sort of a rounding like cat to bring that leg forward. We also have to use the quad and the hip flexor here, which is part of our abdominals. So and the shoulders too, to round to get the foot forward. So total body strengthener. Really, we should feel this everywhere as we transition forward and back. If this feels claustrophobic, if you are unable to get the foot forward as much as you would like, then bring your hands onto blocks, and you could start with the tallest height in this tabletop. I'm not dipping down here, so I'm not in cow. I'm pulling ribs and navel up, creating space for me to step the foot forward. Okay, so tallest height on the blocks is going to give us the most space to do our transition. And as we're here, you can start to lower the block, which will then just need more strength from you to move. Okay, so I'm going to have my hands on the blocks. Going to make this easier. Do what works best for you and how you're feeling today and now. Okay, so with hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tone your belly, pulling ribs and navel up. Again, think a bit of that cat action. And then as you exhale, step that right foot to the outside of the mat, outside of the hand or block. Now feel free to stay in this shorter stance, low lunge, this first time. Hands can be on the hips. If your right foot is off the edge of the mat, make sure your toes are pointing out as well. Okay, so stay upright more in this 90 degree. Or you can lift the left knee and scooch it back and start to let the hips sink. And so you'll feel more of a stretch across the hips and the pelvis. Okay. Choose again what works for you best here and now. Then hands on your waist. Let's take one breath here. Now inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky. Exhale, bend the elbow, bring your left hand to the base of your neck, like you're patting yourself on your back. Bring your right hand to your left elbow and gently pull the arm behind the head and enjoy a stretch through the tricep. Don't puff your ribs out or your bottom back. Try to keep your tailbone tucked a bit and your lower ribs and core hugging in. Take 2 more breaths. And then inhale, open the arms out wide. Now exhale, bring your left arm across the front of the chest, hug it in with your right elbow, and change the stretch on that left shoulder. Two more breaths. Then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down, blocker earth. Press into your foundation, round the shoulders, pull navel up, and bring that right knee back to tabletop pose. Can sway the hips side to side, maybe roll the hips around in circles, or you can go into our cat and cow once again. Take 2 more breaths, however you're moving. And then let's go ahead and rest back into a child's pose. So hands can be on the earth, knees wide, big toes together. Hands crawl out in front of you. And enjoy 3 breaths here. Then come back up, tabletop pose, hands and knees. I placed a blanket underneath my knees now. So again, anytime you need to modify or adjust, feel free to do so. Hands can go back up onto the blocks if you're using them. In our tabletop pose, press into the foundation. Think of rounding the back a bit, engage the core, and step that left foot to the outside of the left hand or mat. Again, if that leg is going wider, please turn your toes out just about 45 degrees. So where that left knee is bending, it's following the second toe. You can stay more upright or lift that right knee, walk it back so that your hips sink lower and you go deeper into the stretch. Okay, choose what works best for you. We're going to bring our hands onto our waist and hold here for 2 breaths. Don't stick your bottom out. Think of tucking it underneath, pulling your ribs and navel in. Inhale, right arm will reach up. Exhale, bend the elbow, pat yourself on the back. Bring your left hand to the right elbow and gently pull the arm behind your head. Again, don't puff out here. Keep everything tucking in, pulling up. 2 more breaths. Now inhale, open the arms out wide. Exhale, bring that right arm across the body, hug it in with the left arm, and stretch differently on that right shoulder. Two more breaths. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down, blocks or earth. Press the earth away. Think of rounding a bit, tone the core, and swing that left knee back and around, tabletop. Swaying a little bit side to side. Moving cat and cow here works as well. Or some hip circles. Then go ahead and move your blocks out of the way. Come down to rest in a child's pose. 4 breaths here. Rise back up. Tabletop pose. You can use your blocks, maybe choosing this time to have the blocks at a lower level. So now your core, your quads have to do a little bit more work. Press into the earth. Pull ribs and navel up. As you exhale, step the right foot forward to the outside of the right hand. Toes turn out a bit. Into our low lunge, this time maybe choosing to scooch the left knee back and sinking into the hips. If you're taking the longer low lunge, your hands can stay down on the earth. And just letting with each exhale the hips drop a little bit heavier. If you're staying in the shorter or taller rather, shorter stance, taller posture, low lunge. Hands can go to the waist or just reach up to the sky. Wherever you're choosing to be here, let's stay for 2 more breaths. And then as you exhale, everyone bring your hands down to the blocks or the earth. Then inhale, the right arm is going to reach up to the sky for a low lunge twist. Start to move that right arm around in just some easy circles. And you can start with those circles pointing up to the sky. And switch directions. And then if you want to go bigger, you can draw the circles off the edge of the mat. So your shoulder is getting some more range of motion. Again, switching directions. Now as you inhale, reach that right arm up, stretch across the chest. Exhale, right hand comes down. You can lean your hips back or walk your left knee in rather, so that you're in your shorter low lunge. Press the earth away, tone the belly, and swing that right knee back and around for tabletop. Sway through the hips, hip circles, or cat and cow here. 2 more breaths, however you're moving. Blocks can go out of the way. Then widen the knees, sit back, child's pose. For this child's pose, you can stay center or start to walk your arms and upper body over to the left side of the mat and really crawl your right fingers away. Deep breath in the right side body wherever you feel sensation. And if you want to move a little bit here, as you inhale, you can lift that right arm up and peek underneath. And then exhale, drop that right armpit back down so the chest is square. Again, inhale, lifting that right arm up, a little peek underneath, so a little bit of a twist here. Then exhale, back to neutral. Let's do that one more time if you enjoy it. Then walk back to child's pose center and rise up, returning to our tabletop, maybe using your props. So knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, pressing into your foundations, pulling navel up, step that left foot outside the left hand, toes turning out as well. Choose how you would like to take your lunge here. I'm going to sink down deeper this time. So if you're staying long, hands down on the ground. If you're keeping your knees more at 90, hands can then go up to the sky. Let's take 3 more breaths wherever you are. And then everyone on an exhale, the hands come down to the blocks or earth. And inhale, left arm will reach up to the sky. Start with little circles here, drawing them on the ceiling. Switch direction. And then if you'd like to go larger, the circles are drawn off the side of the mat. Switch direction. And then inhale, reach that left arm up, stretch the chest. Exhale, left hand comes down. Inside of that left foot, you can walk the right knee in to shorten your stance. Press the earth away, tone the belly, and bring that left knee back and down. Find your tabletop. Take some time to move here after that little flow. Notice what you feel that's different in the body. 2 more breaths, however you're moving here. Then widen the knees, big toes together, child's pose. Stay center here, or hands walking off to the right side, crawling left fingers a little bit more away from you. Notice what you feel and breathe into those spaces. If you want to go a little bit more here, as you inhale, you can lift that left armpit shoulder up and peek underneath. And then exhale, drop that side back down so chest is square. Inhale, rolling, looking under. And exhale, dropping down. Let's do that one more time. Then walking back to child's pose, center. Take one more big breath here. Nice and easy, go ahead and sit yourself up. We're gonna get down onto our backs. So if you would like, your blanket can stay underneath your spine for a little more cushion. We're gonna take some hamstring stretches. So if you would like, you can have your strap nearby and handy as well. Go ahead and lie down. Just gently lift your chest up so that you can press your shoulder blades away from your ears and then resettle your heart back down. Keep your left knee bent, foot planted, and hug your right knee into your heart. Point and flex through the toes and roll through the ankle. Now flex the right foot, and as you inhale, start to kick the heel up to the sky, straightening the leg. Your hands can interlace behind the back of the right thigh, or you can take your strap here and place it around the ball of the foot. Now if you're using the strap, make sure you're walking your hands up the strap and don't roll the strap around your wrist or your hands like this, because then this starts to put tension back into the hands. And after those beautiful wrist stretches we just did, we want to make sure these guys feel loose still. Okay, so an easy grip. Make sure that right knee stays softer. And keep pulling the thigh in towards the tummy, the knee towards the heart, and the big toe towards the crown. Soften your face and your jaw. And if things are going pretty well here for you, you can start to go straighter through that left leg, but make sure if it's going all the way long, the knee and the toes stay pointing up to the sky. So we're in good alignment on each side. Let's take 5 more breaths. Now grab hold of the strap with the right hand. If you don't have the strap, hold on to the outer right knee instead. Take your left hand to the top of your left thigh or hip and make sure that it stays as it is. On your next exhale, start to open the right leg out to the right side, keeping that left thigh and hip grounded. We should feel like we're trying to peel the right hip away from the left. Take 3 more breaths here. Make sure your knees are not hyperextended. Good. Slowly bring that right leg back towards center. Grab hold of the strap with the left hand or inner knee with the left hand and start to drop that right leg across the body. Not rolling too much on that left hip. Let it feel like a nice crisscross. Imagine you're trying to squeeze like a grape between your upper and inner thighs here. Okay, so I'm not rolling into a spinal twist here. Keep it in the hip. Slowly bring that right leg back to the right side of the body. Release the foot from the strap. Hug your knee into your heart. Little bit of movement through that foot and ankle. Then go ahead and bend both knees. Plant the feet. Notice what you feel from side to side. And then let's go into the left. So right knee will stay bent. Go ahead and bring your left knee into your heart, wiggling your toes. Flex and point, and you can roll the ankle. Now flex your left foot. As you inhale, press up through the left heel. Hands interlace behind the thigh, or again, strap around the foot. Hugging that knee in close towards your heart. If you're using the strap, don't grip excessively in the hands. Keep the wrists softer, shoulders soft. Feel free to stay here or continue to elongate through that right side, making sure the knee and the toes stay up. Again, good alignment on either leg. Let's take 5 more breaths here. Grab hold of the strap in the left hand. Right hand can go to your right hip or thigh, keeping the solid grounded as it is. Nothing should change here. As you exhale, dropping that left leg open to the left. Again, like you're peeling that left hip away from the right. Keep your knees softer. Relax your jaw as well. Take 3 more breaths. And inhale, coming back up to center, switch hands. And as you exhale, that left leg will start to just gently drop across the body. Again, not rolling onto that right outer hip, so keep the left outer hip pulling towards the mat. Two more breaths. Inhale, bringing that left leg back to the proper side of the body, removing the strap. Bend the left knee, move around through the ankle and the toes. And then both feet can plant, knees bent. Go ahead and walk the feet out to the edges of the mat. And start to drop the knees down from side to side for windshield wipers. Coming back to center, keep the feet wide. Now drop the knees together for knock knees. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your lower belly. Close your eyes and relax throughout your face. Nice deep breath in and out, and feel how your hands rise and fall with the breath. And not only feeling the breath here, but imagining that it reaches all the way to your fingers and your toes, and your whole body breathes. Take 4 more breaths here. If you are comfortable where you are, you may stay. Otherwise, open the arms. You can widen the knees and extend the legs. Then drop yourself into Shavasana Pose. Make sure shoulders are away from the ears. Allow your body to rest in the support of the earth. Keep your attention on your breath and your body for as long as possible. And when you realize that you've been distracted away, just come back. Rest in Shavasana. Enjoy your time here, and I'll let you know when it's time to release. Start to bring yourself back, allowing each breath to be deeper, and gently, slowly starting to wiggle your fingers and your toes. On an inhale, reach the arms up, elongation stretch. And as you exhale, get soft and surrender. Hug your knees into your heart. Gently roll down to your right side, pausing there for a breath. And then make your way up to an easy seated pose. Let your shoulders release down your back, crown lifting you taller, and bring the hands to prayer in front of your heart. Repeat your intention to yourself and promise to take it with you off of your mat into your day. A moment of gratitude for your body, your breath, and this practice. And bow your brain, sealing everything in.